Now, as far as good teams go, it can be hard to figure out who are the good teams in the league. I think Tampa's a really good football team. And I wasn't sold on them in the preseason. They won 9 games last year. They won the division, but I wasn't sold on them. Even with the playoff win, I wasn't sold on Baker. I think he's inconsistent. I still kind of feel that way. The loss to the Broncos shows you that he's inconsistent. But right now, this year, Tampa Bay, only team with multiple wins against winning teams. They beat the Commanders week 1. We forget this. They beat the Commanders. Since then, the Commanders are the hottest team in the league, 3-1 and on a roll. And they also beat a 3-1 or a 2-1 Detroit team that I think will win tonight. So if Detroit wins, that'll mean Tampa has beaten 2 3-1 teams, and then they beat the 2-2 Eagles, who I think are good. I don't think the Eagles are great, but I think they're a good team. So Tampa will officially they will have beaten 3 of the better teams in the NFC. Not only is that huge for tiebreakers come playoffs, when I do believe that the Eagles will be in the playoffs and the Commanders, the Lions, I think those might all 3 be playoff teams. The Commanders look like a playoff team right now. So the Buccaneers already have tiebreakers now. It's also great for their division. I mean, they maybe had the best day because not only did they get a resounding, dominant victory over a good team, they also got to sit back and watch as the Saints and Falcons duked it out in a battle of who sucked less. I mean, I think ultimately the Falcons winning is good for them because the Saints, if they had won, they'd be tied. So now the Bucs have sole possession of first place, but I don't think the Falcons scared them. And I don't think the Saints scared them. I mean, the Falcons, if not for a fluky, really, the Falcons are very lucky to have 2 wins because their first win came off of the luckiest drive in history against this Eagles team. That game with the Falcons, we'll talk about in a sec, but they did not deserve to win that game. So Tampa, it's got to be feeling great. Like, our biggest opponent is the Saints and Falcons. The Saints, who are super inconsistent, and the Falcons, who could be 0-4 if not for literally 2 plays. So I think Tampa might feel really good, and I think they're legit. And if they played in the playoffs, I'd take them to beat the Eagles. I'd take them to beat Detroit again. I'd take them to beat Green Bay. I think I'd take them over Minnesota. I don't know if there's any team in the NFC that I would take right now over the Bucs, except for maybe the Commanders. And I think Tampa Bay could legitimately be Super Bowl contenders. We'll see where I put them in my power rankings. I think this team could represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I'm being completely serious. And a month ago, I wasn't sure if they would win the division. I picked the Falcons to win that division. I think Tampa looks a lot better. They look more consistent, which I was worried about. And at their best, they are clearly better. Now, at their worst, Tampa's not good because at their worst, Baker turns into a pumpkin. But at their best, they look like a dominant powerhouse of a team. So I think Tampa right now, they may have overtaken Detroit for me as far as power rankings go. I think they might be the best team in the NFC.